Is this the curse of Harry and Meghan? Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Thank you so much as ever for getting involved with the channel. I love the fact that you enjoyed the King's Road and the swinging 60s. It's amazing, isn't it? You know, when you show pictures of certain eras and you think, oh gosh, yeah, no, I was there, I did that. I loved reading a lot of your stories about certain jobs that you did and the fact that people wanted to emulate Twiggy. I saw Twiggy, by the way, on the tube the other day. Yeah. Amazing, isn't it, who you find in London. She still looks fabulous, by the way. She's one of those people, I think, that everybody sort of remembers. And she's so down to earth. She was sort of saying hello to everybody who recognised her. So, you know, if you do come to London, like me, you'll never know who you're going to meet. But back as ever to your breaking royal story of the day. Now, what's interesting to note is we can look forward to a royal visit. Some might say, with the fact that the US chat show host Oprah Winfrey is coming to London. Now, this is the first time that she stepped back on this soil since that infamous interview way back for CBS in March. She's coming to London to interview the pop diva Adele. Amazingly, Adele's decided to grace us with her presence too in her homeland. I always thought she resided now in Beverly Hills, but there you go, moving on. But according to reports, apparently the special that Oprah Winfrey is recording with Adele, which is basically one night with Adele, it's sort of part interview, part mini concert, you know the type of thing. Well, it's all there to promote her brand new album 30, which her record company are going really overboard to try and make sure that, of course, it hits #1 in all the right spots. I don't know about you, but I know she's incredibly popular. And so I can't really see it being a problem. But in these very inclement times, it's very difficult, isn't it now, to try and sell music. People get it for free on YouTube and Spotify and all that sort of stuff. So again, you do kind of come away thinking, how do you sell records? And possibly that's the reason why they've decided on this very big interview. Now, this hasn't gone unnoticed, shall we say, by quite a few royal watchers. I'm not expecting Oprah Winfrey to be sitting down with anybody herself when she comes back into London. I do know exactly the hotel that she's staying in, and of course it's not a cheap one, it's not a Travelodge, let me tell you, or a Premier Inn. But what I find interesting is normally she would have come back and done some kind of media to make sure that the public knew what she was doing. And we may yet see her being pictured outside the hotel, but don't expect any of those famous sit-downs for her, because of course she wouldn't want to answer any questions about you-know-who. Now, moving forward, it does appear, according to reports, that people are struggling from the CBS network to find people over here in London to speak about Adele. This is those little inserts from Celebrity Pals, you know, the ones that say, oh, I knew her from being 9, or yes, she's a famous friend of mine now, that type of thing. The problem they have, you see, is that, well, what they're claiming at least is, Adele doesn't appear to have many international pals. And I'm not sort of picking fault with her. I can understand she's mainly keeps herself out of the limelight, but we do know that she was, for a period at least, very close to certain members, younger members of the British royal family. But she recently announced that if she had to pick one out of the two, she'd prefer Harry. Now, this could have caused a problem because now CBS, as I say, are struggling to find international guests to speak about Adele on this special. Now, we know Adele does know people, you know, like the British comedian Alan Carr. He's a good pal. And a one-time soap actor called Sid Owen, who used to be in EastEnders, but they're not really going to crack any pots for the US audience, and they need to be sure that they're getting big international names. Now, if I was CBS, I'd be looking at the reasons why you're struggling to find people, because according to very good insiders, a lot of international names, like a lot of things that we've told you about here on the channel, do not want to be seen siding with one side or the other. And as we know, with the British monarchy, you know, it doesn't go unnoticed if you seem to be going to the other side. Moving forward, I think it's going to be really interesting who they finally feel they can sit down and get someone to talk with. Perhaps, you know, you could look at some of Harry and Meghan's friends, Melissa McCarthy, maybe, you know, I don't know, the Obamas. Let's go through the list. It's running a bit short, as you can imagine. But of course, for Adele, I predict huge success for the album. I'm sure the TV special will get a lot of people watching it simply because of her fans. But what I am telling you very discreetly, and as always allegedly here, is it does appear that lots of people do not want to be, well, too much associated with this particular project. Could it be the fact that Oprah Winfrey sat down with Harry and Meghan and they see that as a bit of a stain, a taint, and of course don't really want to be associated with that sort of debacle? Or could it simply be the fact that indeed Adele could be something like the Greta Garbo of pop, and only pops out when she has something to promote? And this could be the real reason why, of course, they're struggling to find international guests. Neil Sean in the heart of London.